Hello children, welcome back to your channel, that is Physics by Imagination. Dear children, in the previous class, that is about part 1 video, I had explained about what is electric potential difference, what is electric potential difference when it is in dipole, and also we discussed about electric potential energy with the presence of electric field, with the absence of electric field. So let us understand the things without wasting time. That is, the first point is that electric potential energy in the external electric field. Dear children, it is very easy to understand. Already you have understood that electric potential energy is nothing but the product of charge and potential. That is called electric potential energy. It is equal to amount of work done. That we discussed. Now here, when I take a, we have discussed that when we two charges kept in the uniform, that is electric field. So the net force is equal to 0. Net force is equal to 0. Now what is my point here? Now electric potential energy of these electrons means the electric potential energy in the dipole, what is going to happen? It's electric potential energy. That is what is going to happen, children. It is equal to amount of work done. Means when the charges will move from 0 position to in it their desired position, that is called electric potential energy in the uniform electric field, then these molecules are going to be rotated. And here, as I told you, polar molecules and non-polar molecules. Dear children, what are polar molecules? So polar molecules means very simple. That is, polar means what, children? So the two molecules are separated by small distance. That is called polar molecules. Example, HCl. So then what is going to happen? There is a presence of electropositive and electronegative ions. They are going to have permanent dipole moment. Okay, they are going to be rotated. KCl, ZnCl, all the example for methane also. These are example for polar molecules. If I speak about non-polar molecules, they may ask you, children, in the CET, non-polar molecules means they are coincide each other. Means the center of positive charge and negative charge, that is going to be intersected. That is called non-polar molecules. If they do not intersect means that is polar molecules. Here heteronuclear molecules are going to be seen. Here homonuclear molecules are going to be seen. So like H2, N2, this is all about polar molecules, non-polar molecules. So I am telling this point. Similarly, the charges are going to be rotated from 0 position to their desired position. That is called electric potential energy due to dipole which is kept in the external magnetic field. Dear children, which is directly given by expression, that is U is equal to minus Pe cos theta. We had seen that is torque in the uniform electric field. That is the vector product of P and D. Okay, and we had found that the net force is equal to 0. Here what is going to happen? It is the scalar product of P and D cos theta. So now here will come cases very important for CET children. So that is, if theta is equal to 0 degree, cos 0 means 1. So minus Pe. It means potential energy is minimum and it is going to have a stable equilibrium. And this is first case. Second case, if theta is equal to, that is 90 degree, cos 90 means what, children? 0. So something into 0 it becomes, the potential energy is become 0. So third case, if theta is equal to 180 degree, so cos 180. So cos 90 means 0, cos 0 means 1, cos 180 means that is minus 1. Then this is for unstable, this is for stable equilibrium and potential energy is minimum. If theta is equal to 180 degree, what happens? U is equal to minus P of E, cos 90 means minus 1, minus into minus plus. So it is indicating that the potential energy of the charges will be maximum. Okay, they are going to be polarized. This is all about electric potential energy in the, that is due to dipole in the external electric field. Please note down points, children. So just you remember, when it is stable, when it is unstable. If theta is equal to 0 means that is stable. If potential, vice versa. If potential energy is maximum, unstable. If potential energy is minimum, stable. So after this, let us understand without wasting time. That is electrostatics of conductors. The children, very simple. That is, I will split into conductors, insulators. So what are conductors? The substances which are going to conduct the electric current. Almost all the metals are conductors. Okay. And due to presence of free electrons. Suppose if I consider an atom, at the center nucleus is present. Around this we can find conduction electrons and valence electrons. So conduction means that is due to free electrons. Now this is the charge carriers which is conducted by, and the conductors are due to free electrons. Okay. Now in the case of insulators, C stands for conductors. Here conductors are what, that is charge carriers are, that is free electrons. Now if I come to the point insulators, here they do not conduct the electric current like paper and mica, rubber. So they are called insulators. But what is my point here? Valence electrons are coming to conduction bond. They are free electrons, and free electrons are going to conduct the charge carriers in the case of conductors. So when inside the conductor, remember 3 points are very important. Inside the conductor, electric field is equal to 0. Why? Because the charges will come to always at surface of the conductor. Hence, inside the conductor, that is electric field is equal to 0. If any cavity is there, again their electric field is equal to 0. And again children, this electric field is always normal to the electric charges. 3 points you remember. So why I am telling means, we are going to discuss about, that is dielectric and polarization. So what are dielectrics? The children, insulators, as I told you, they do not conduct the electric current. Okay, but we will make to conduct the electric current. How? Let us understand. Let us consider an atom. So here conduction bond and here valence bond and this conduction bond. Electrons will be revolving. Now we are going to apply a strong electric field. Means what are dielectrics means? The process of making insulators as a conductor, that is called dielectric process, and that materials are called dielectrics. So children, here for air I can make conductor by applying 3000 kilovolt per meter. If I take paper, that is 14,000 kilometer per meter. If I take glass, these values you should remember children, and glass is 30,000 kilometer per meter. So what is my point here? Dielectric constant, okay, or dielectric strength, dielectric breakdown will come. Dear children, dielectric breakdown means the amount of electric field which is given to the insulator to becomes insulator to conductor, that is called dielectric breakdown. So these are all dielectric breakdown values. Dielectric strength means what? Before it breaks, what amount we are going to give it, that is called dielectric strength. So remember this. Now dielectric polarization. Children, here what happens here, center we have positive charge, outside we have negative charge. Center we have positive charge, outside we have negative charge. Remember. Now they will act like a dipole. Then they start to polarize, they start to have dipole moment. Then that is called dielectric polarization, which is given by symbol, that is mu V. This is called dielectric polarization, and it is directly proportional to electric field. If you increase the electric field, that is dielectric polarization will be increased. Decreased means decreased. Now, if I remove the proportionality constant, I am going to get constant term. Mu E is equal to K into that is E, and this is called polarizability constant. Okay, this is all about dielectric polarization. After this, come to the point parallel plate capacitor. So then, first of all, let us understand what is capacitor. So as the name itself is telling that capacitor means the ability to store the electric charges are called capacitor. So these are the conductors, and between that we are going to keep dielectric materials. Dielectric materials. Then we can store the electrical charges. When we store the electrical charges, we can easily store electrical energy. Okay. So now capacitor is nothing but that is charge per unit potential difference. That is called capacitor. And if I supply 1 coulomb of charge through 1 volt, that becomes 1 farad. Just remember this. Now what is my point here? You understood about capacitor. Okay. That is nothing but amount of storing the charges. Now capacitance of the capacitor is also same. The ability of the materials to store the number of capacitors, that is called capacitance of the capacitor. Okay, so that is Q by V. We can donate the notation as capital Q also, no problem. Now you understood about capacitors. So now here come to the next point, parallel plate capacitor. So we are going to keep conductors in parallel position. Okay, so then here what is going to happen, children? Here plus and minus. So then between this we are going to keep dielectric plates. Then directly without derivation, let us take expression that is capacitance of the capacitor when it is for parallel plate capacitor, given the expression that is C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by E. Now here this is capacitance of the capacitor. Let us understand about this. This is constant, that is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 coulomb per Newton meter square. Now A means what? Area of the plates. If area of plates increases, automatically capacitance will increase. Remember, very important. How can we increase capacitance of the capacitor? By increasing area, and inversely proportional to distance. If distance increases, the capacitance of the capacitance, that is, if distance increases, it will also increase. Now directly proportional to area. If distance decreases, capacitance will increase. Remember, very important. If distance increases, capacitance will increase. Dear children, the capacitance of the capacitor depends upon three things. One is the nature of the dielectric material, what you are going to keep between the conductors, and dielectric constant, and also it depends upon amount of electric field you are going to be given. Okay, this is all about depends and affect the capacitance of the capacitor. Now I told you dielectric constant. We discussed in the first chapter, that is Fa divided by Fm. Now here, when these two plates are kept in the vacuum or air, that is, we can write C0 is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D. If I keep in any medium, that is epsilon naught A divided by D. So this is when the two capacitors, that is with the dielectric medium, without dielectric medium, with the dielectric medium. Okay, like mica, paper, rubber, etc. etc. Now, if I take ratio C0 by Cm, that is epsilon naught A divided by D. If you take reciprocal, epsilon naught R. Epsilon naught AA and DD cancelled. We got that is AA also is going to be cancelled. Then we got, children, that is what we are going to get? Epsilon naught R is there. C0 is equal to Cm into epsilon naught R. Very important relation. That is capacitance of the capacitor when it is kept in the vacuum, and capacitance of the capacitor when it is kept in the medium, into relative permeability. Then this relative permeability becomes, that is C0 by Cm. very important in the numericals. Please note down children, that is relative permeability is equal to C naught divided by Cm. Now we are going to discuss about different capacitors. So we have spherical capacitors. So here very simple, let us understand very fast. This is a spherical capacitor and this is radius R. We know that capacitor is equal to Q by V. Then potential means we discussed in previous class, that is K into, that is Q by R, 1 by 4 pi epsilon into Q by R. Then it becomes C is equal to Q divided by Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R. If I take this is capital R, smaller, smaller. So Q cancelled, it becomes the capacitance of the capacitor for spherical capacitor. It is given by 4 pi epsilon naught R. The children remember, in all the capacitor, it can be increased by decreasing distance, by increasing the electric medium constant. That is very important, and nature of the material. And also, what conductors we are going to keep? 3 points. Decreasing distance, increasing the electric medium, and what conductors we are going to keep. Among them, these factors are very important to enhance the capacitance of the capacitors. Now this we understood. If I take two spherical capacitors, this is small r, inner radius, capital R, then it becomes formula, that is 4 pi epsilon naught R, that is into AB divided by B minus A. It means this is I call as A, this I call as B. This is the capacitance of the two spherical capacitors with respect to inner radius and outer radius. Similarly, cylindrical capacitor, if it is in the form of cylindrical, it becomes C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R L divided by 4.6 into log, that is B divided by A. Just remember these formulas will be asked in the examinations. So please note down children about this. So this is all about spherical capacitors with two radius. And here, if this radius is connected to earth, it becomes C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R into A square divided by B minus A. Okay. So let us understand next concept, that is energy stored in the capacitor. Energy stored in the capacitors. So what is the meaning of energy stored in the capacitor? So children, when we give the energy, okay, if I take a plates, we are going to connect the earth, we will supply the electric field. Then when these are going to be charged, then in the form of electrical potential energy, that energy will be stored. That is called energy stored in the capacitor. Means after charging, some amount of energy will be stored in the capacitors. That is called energy stored in the capacitor. Very important children for CET. That is directly given by expression U is equal to half into CV square. Here C means the capacitance of the capacitor, V means potential difference, or you can call voltage. So now here U is equal to, it will get different form. We know that is C is equal to Q divided by V. That becomes half into C into, so C I am going to keep here, Q, that is V square divided by V, VV is going to be cancelled. Then U is equal to half into QV. This is the one expression. Now again children, do cross multiplication. V is equal to C by Q. Then what is going to happen? Now V is equal to C by Q. I am going to keep here. Then half into, this is one equation, this is second form. I'll keep here half. Then what is going to happen? This I'll keep here. Then becomes half into, that is Q into C square divided by Q square. Are you getting children? That is CV square. I am sorry for that. CV square is there. CV square. So CV square means V is C by Q. I cross multiplied. Means what I multiplied? Yeah. C is equal to Q by V. Now V is equal to Q by C. just multiplication, cross multiplication I get. Now, so it becomes u is equal to half into c, that is, it is going to become what children? Cv square is there. So Cv square means we can write that half into q into v. Very simple children. That is, I am going to keep constant. It becomes c square divided by q square. C square divided by q square. C is equal to q by v. V is equal to q by c. Children, we did wrong c. Q by, that is q by c. That becomes q square divided by c square. Then c are going to be cancelled. Half into, that is q square divided by c. This is three formulas are very important in CET. Please note down. That is, first one, v is equal to half into cv square. Second one, that is v is equal to half into q into v. And third one, half into q square by c. Please note down children. So after this, we are going to learn about, that is, combination of capacitors. Combination of capacitors means we are going to connect in horizontal position as well as vertical position. This is also very important children for CET examination. That is, combination of capacitors. Combination of capacitors. Children, this is the symbol for capacitor. Okay, like inductor. Now what is going to happen here? When I connect number of capacitors in a series, okay, then what happens here? Directly it is in series. It is in series. Here charge is remains same. Very important point. Charge will be remain same, and potential difference is nothing but sum of the potential difference at each capacitor. I am repeating once again. Charge is same when the capacitor is connected in series, and potential difference is sum of the all the potential differences. Now what is going to happen? Directly we will take the formula, that is Cs is equal to 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus dash dash 1 by Cn. You can take n number of capacitors. Now here, what is going to happen? This is the expression for equivalent capacitance of the capacitor when they are connected in series. Now we know that energy stored is equal to half into Cv square. Okay. Now we can write that is U is equal to half into. If I take two capacitors, it becomes C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2. Then this C changes to C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2 into V square. Very important. This is formula used to solve the numericals. That is, when the potential, that is energy stored in the capacitor when the capacitors are going to be connected in series. Please note down, U is equal to half into C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2 into V square. Similarly, if n number of identical capacitors are going to be connected in series, then capacitance of each C is given by, that is C is equal to N by C, that is C by N. Number of identical capacitors are going to be connected. That becomes, that is C by N. Okay, that is Cs is equal to C by N. Now if I connect vertical position, that is going to become parallel. So let us understand without wasting time. Please note down this. I think you have noted down. Now if I go on connected these things in parallel, so directly what vertical position I am going to keep. In the previous case, charge is same. Potential difference is sum of the all the potential difference. If it is parallel means what is going to happen? Potential difference is same and charges are going to change the values. Remember. Directly I get the expression Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. That is equivalent resistance, that is equivalent capacitance of this sum of the capacitance in the system. There, that is reciprocal capacitor of the system. The reciprocal sum of the capacitance of the each capacitor. Here directly sum of the each capacitance in the system. Now, energy stored in the capacitor, that is when the number of capacitors are connected in parallel is given by, that is, you know that half into CV square. Directly it becomes U is equal to half into CPV square. CP means number of capacitors which are connected in a parallel. That's it. Now, if number of each capacitors are going to be connected like this, then n number of identical capacitors are going to be connected, means that is Cp is equal to C into n. So we have finished completely about this. Okay. So I hope you understood, children. If you understand, please, if you like it and share and subscribe. Thank you.